What's going on? It's KBTHEMARK, co-host of the DMV podcast, and this is your Monday Night Raw review for May 17th, 2021. It was Monday Night Raw, guys. It was boring. Monday Night Raw has continuously been boring for going on a year and a half. I hope and I pray that it'll get better, but part of me deep down knows that it probably won't. And we'll be subjected to watching this god-awful show every week. Let's go ahead and jump straight into the action. We began with a promo from MVP and Bobby Lashley. The almighty WWE champion is escorted to the ring by beautiful women. MVP asks Bobby Lashley, did he come through for him in terms of the women? Bobby Lashley responds, you always do. MVP stated that Braun Strowman is at home nursing broken ribs, and Drew McIntyre is so devastated that he didn't even get out of bed. MVP continues by saying that the Almighty did all of that while injured. On behalf of the WWE Champion, MVP issues an open challenge and is interrupted by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre comes down and accepts the open challenge. Drew states, what a way to impress these lovely ladies. MVP states that the open challenge was for anyone not named Braun Strowman and Drew McIntyre. Lashley tried to attack Drew, but Drew ducked and landed a punch onto Lashley, and Lashley and MVP retreated. Great opening segment. Glad that the open challenge was not answered by Drew McIntyre, but we'll have more to say about that towards the end of the show. First match of the night, we have Elias versus AJ Styles. Elias left the tie up with a kick to the gut and followed it up with some strikes. AJ responds with a drop kick. Elias blocked the suplex attempt from AJ Styles and hit a stalling suplex. AJ escapes from Elias and hits a drop toe hold. Elias connects with the second turnbuckle. Jackson Ryker then rips AJ off the apron for the DQ finish, and Elias continues to beat up AJ after the match and almost chases off Elias. I don't know where this match came from. This match wasn't good. And honestly, the DQ finish doesn't even save it. AJ Styles deserves so much better. He's a former WWE champion. The tag team with Omos needs to pick up, or we need to find a different direction for AJ. Next up, we have Alexa's Playground. Alexa Bliss has the new women's tag team champions in Natalya and Tamina. Tamina looks around scared and asks, can we go now? It was one of the best things on this segment. Alexa says we haven't even asked the tough questions. Really asked the champs what are their favorite colors. Natalya says, well, mine is pink. Tamina responds with black and blue, which will look great on your face if you try anything weird. Alexa says, that's not very nice. That's not very nice. You're lucky that Lily likes you. Tamina then threatens to swat Reginald if he interferes with the tag match. Alexa wishes the tag champs good luck and states that she will be watching. Next up, we had Angel Barza versus Drew Gulock. Garza lands a backbreaker and a kick to Gulock, who was in the corner. Garza hits the wing clipper for the win and then shoves the rolls down Drew's throat, just like he did the rolls in Drew's ass. I'm glad Angel Garza's back on TV. I don't like this. That's all I'll say on that. Next up, we have the Randy Orton versus Kofi Kingston. Kofi focuses on the arm of Orton. Randy pokes the eye of Kofi and lands some uppercuts and punches in the corner. Orton locks in a deep chin lock, slowing the pace. Kofi fights back to his feet, but Orton answers with a headbutt. Randy throws Kofi into the corner, but Kofi lands a drop kick to Randy's shoulder. Then Xavier Woods distracts Randy, and Orton gets rolled up for a Kofi win. Riddle and the New Day argue in the ring, and Riddle pushes Xavier Woods and storms off with Randy Orton. I don't understand how he gets distracted by Xavier Woods in general. Why are we booking the Legend Killer, the Apex Predator, to be distracted like this? If you guys wanted him to lose to Kofi, then just put on a great match. Other than that, I don't need to see this. This was god awful. Please. Keep it off my television. WWE Women's Tag Team Championship rematch, because that's all WWE is, rematches. Nia and Shayna versus Tamina and Natalya. But Alexa Bliss and Lily appear at the top of the stage. Fire comes out from the steel post, preventing Reginald from interfering. Shayna then goes to somewhat check on Reginald, and that allows Natalya and Tamina to hit the heart attack for the win. Didn't need to see this match. Please keep Nia and Shayna away from each other. Never put them in a tag team again. This was god awful. Keep it off my television, please. Next up, we had Shameless versus Ricochet. Shameless is upset that Ricochet has his hat and jacket, which leads to a backstage interview with Ricochet. Ricochet says he was having fun. Ricochet then puts on Sheamus' jacket and coat and speaks in a decent Irish accent. I really wasn't feeling that part, but it was decent. Ricochet lands some chops to Sheamus and throws him in the corner. Ricochet lands some splashes to Sheamus in the corner, then lands a springboard splash onto Sheamus. Ricochet lands a running shooting star press for a 2 count. Ricochet goes for another springboard, but Sheamus gets the knees up, attempts a roll up for a 2 count. Sheamus misses a bro kick and gets his leg caught on the top rope. Ricochet lands a super kick neckbreaker combo, goes to the top rope, but Sheamus rolls to the outside. Ricochet then lands a diving splash to Sheamus, rolls him back into the ring, lands a 450 for a 2 count. Ricochet went for another springboard, but is caught with a pump knee for a 2.99. You literally heard the ref's hand hit the mat, but Ricochet kicked out. Ricochet slaps Sheamus one more act of defiance. Sheamus lands a bro kick for the win. Sheamus then says that he might be the one to answer the almighty WWE Champions Open Challenge. T-Bar and Mace, little segment. Basically, they said that it will be one of them who puts an end to the legacy of the Almighty. They say it's as easy as the flip of a coin. You know what wasn't easy? T-Bar and Mace, watching you on Retribution every week. Get the fuck out of here. Next up is a match that WWE has ran into the ground. Asuka versus Charlotte. I've seen it once, I've seen it twice, I've seen it as many times as WWE wants to put it on. I do not care. I don't care. I don't want to see Asuka and Charlotte anymore. You guys have ran it into the fucking ground. I don't want to see it anymore. Get some new writers in there. Have somebody else write, because you're giving me the same shit, and I'm sick of the shit. I'm sick of watching it. Next up, John Morrison versus Damian Priest in another fucking lumberjack match after the bullshit lumberjack match at WrestleMania Backlash that was pre-taped and led to The Miz tearing his ACL. The Miz, I hope you return soon. I wish you the best and a speedy recovery. Love Damian Priest. Love Johnny Drip Drip. They need to start pushing those guys and get them away from each other. Stay away from the lumberjack matches and give me some better fucking content on your fucking show. Main event time. Who was going to answer the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley's open challenge? It's Kofi Kingston. I'm going to go into a rant after this, after I go through the description of the match, because it needs to be said. Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley. MVP stated that I don't remember saying that the Open Challenge was a WWE Championship match, and states that Kofi isn't even worthy enough to be in the ring with the Almighty. MVP goes to hit Kofi with the cane, but Drew takes the cane from MVP, hits Lashley, which allows Kofi to get the roll-up victory. Why the fuck is the world champion losing on a televised show that's not a pay-per-view? Why is the almighty Bobby Lashley losing to Kofi Kingston, who hasn't really been in the main event outside of his Elimination Chamber match? Why is Xavier Woods out here distracting people? Last time I checked, he's a face. So why the fuck is he doing that shit? I don't want to see Kofi Kingston nowhere near the WWE Championship. And you got to think, because I saw this on Twitter, a lot of people were saying get ready for Kofi Mania 2. I don't want Kofi Mania 2. Kofi Mania was great. The fact that Kofi beat Randy Orton and Lashley in the same night, that shit doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't make any fucking sense. The Almighty shouldn't be losing. The only time the Almighty should be losing is when he's dropping that title. That's the only time the Almighty should be losing. But no, WWE had to fuck it up and allow Kofi Kingston to beat Bobby Lashley. And there are those who are going to say, well, there was a distraction. Why was there a fucking distraction? Xavier Woods saving Kofi, understand it. MVP and Bobby Lashley working together with the Kane, understand it. Drew McIntyre saving Kofi, understand it. Him hitting Lashley, Drew's a face. I'm not supposed to understand, but I guess I can let it slide. But the roll up by Kofi Kingston to a win over the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley, I don't understand. I will never understand, because your champion, your main champion, the guy, shouldn't be losing on television outside of a pay-per-view. If Roman Reigns had a match on Friday Night SmackDown, he ain't losing. So why is Bobby Lashley? This show was god-awful. I'm grading it a 2 out of 10. I guess you can say that I couldn't even tell you what the best match was. They all were boring. I guess I would have to give it to the Asuka and Charlotte, but I've seen it. I've seen it too many times to really care. Wrestler of the Night, don't really have one. I would love to give it to the Almighty, but he lost. I'm not giving it to Kofi Kingston because the fact that he beat Randy Orton and Bobby Lashley doesn't make any sense to me. So I don't have a Wrestler of the Night. Fix this fucking show. They wasted 3 hours of our time to reveal that it was Kofi Kingston who was going to answer the open challenge and then beat the almighty WWE champion Bobby Lashley. After he won at WrestleMania Backlash in dominating fashion, he comes back and loses to Kofi Kingston. You can't make this shit up. Get this shit off my television and come up with better content for your fucking 3-hour show on Monday nights. That is it, everyone. Like I said, I go by the name of KBTHEMARK, co-host of the DMV podcast, and we will see you soon.